Well, I'm gonna try this again, round two. It's Sunday the 29th of August. And looks like we got a nice sea breeze working in. So I'm gonna see if I can get out past Upper Island this time and be on our way to Rockland. I just spent about 45 minutes fooling around with the drone. I wanted to get some drone shots, and but I kept getting this error IMU initializing. It's not really an error, but you're supposed to let the drone sit until it initializes. But it's kind of difficult to let it sit in one place when you're on a boat, because the boat's of course swinging around the mooring here. So I might have to bring it ashore and let it calibrate. But anyway, the breeze is up now, and I'm not gonna fool around with that just now. We'll get back to that later. Looking good here. We got a nice 8 to 10 knots of wind, and once we get past Upper Island here, then we can bear away and start heading more northeast. So we've had to beat our way all the way out of the St. George River. We're still fighting a little bit of current. It's just about slack tide now. So that's Upper Island right to leeward there. And I'm not going to set the code 0 yet, because we got to zig and zag. So we got to go here, and then we got to come up on the wind to make it to that other red nun. And I still got to bear away here. Got to keep that green on my starboard side. So that green dead ahead, keep that to starboard. And then we got to go right where that other sailboat is. We have to come back up on the wind again. So you can see why we got zig and zag here. If you watch, you can see there's breakers right there. See right there? There's rocks that jut out from this island. I'm just always nervous having a rocky coast to leeward of me. But we do have rocks also to windward of us, so we're not getting big swells in there, so that's good. There's a guy tacking out through Port Clyde. I didn't have the stones to try that, but then again, I'm guessing he has local knowledge. Now you might think we could just sail right in between Mosquito Island and the shore there, which is probably another island, and we probably could, but there's 4-foot spots. It gets quite shallow, and I'm just not going to chance it. We're just doing it all by the book here. I love sailing through the islands of Maine, despite the dangers. I mean, it's just, especially when you're among these uninhabited islands. Yeah, I just feel like I'm in the Odyssey here. There's Owl's Head. We're coming around, looks like right at sundown. So we got just, you can see the end of the breakwall there. So we got just about a mile, 2 miles into the anchorage. Fairly short stay in the big city of Rockland, Maine. Just 2 days, as it turns out, long enough to buy fresh provisions from the nearby Hannaford supermarket and top off my water tanks. The reason for the short stay is I've got a good fair wind to continue on down east, my ultimate destination being Roque Island. In fact, it's a little too good right now. It's pretty blustery, but the wind is out of the southwest, which is fair, so I'm on my way. Many boats, especially long keel boats, are reluctant to bear away when sailing under Maine alone, because the center of effort is so far aft. So you gotta let her get up some speed before you helm up and try to bear away. Well, sure enough, I put 2 reefs in the main and the wind dies. So we're just coming up on Owl's Head here. Alright everybody, it is the 30th of August 2022 and we got a beautiful if hazy day out here. Present position is we're about 8 or 9 miles south of Vinyl Haven, Maine, and we are headed down east toward Roque Island, which is about 75 miles from here. Not sure if I'm going to go for Roque all in one go, which would mean sailing overnight and probably getting in very early tomorrow morning. Possibly getting in still in the hours of darkness if we maintain our present speed, because it's about noon now, so we'd probably be getting in around 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, but you never know, we might get slowed down. Or try to find some place to drop the hook at the end of the day here, perhaps somewhere around Swan's Island, which is I think only about 20 miles from where we are now. So started off, it was pretty brisk, and the weather models are showing quite a bit of wind for today, but so far the wind has been hanging around 10 to 15. It was just when we started off leaving Rockland there, it was 15 to 20, even gusting low 20s. I had 2 reefs in the main, so I'm down to just 1 reef in the main now, and so it's actually pretty pleasant sailing. The weather models are saying these winds are going to pick up quite a bit this evening, kind of round up to about 20 knots, and then gradually backing off overnight. However, down the track, Chris on Charis has texted me. He departed Swan's Island, actually Long Island, which is just south of it, this morning, and he has very little wind. So it seems like further down east, there's not nearly as much wind as what they're forecasting. So anyway, we'll see what that situation is as we approach. Otherwise, we're just chugging along here. I got the Boothby modified Hasler self-steering arrangement working. She's pretty much going straight as an arrow, and very little strain on anything. So it's just steering the boat right along. That's what I like. And far enough offshore, just gotta watch out for the occasional lobster boat here. Otherwise, we're out in fairly clear water, so I can relax a bit. I just made lunch. I'm gonna go down and make myself a cup of coffee here. The next island we're gonna pass to leeward is Ilaha. And that's not too far. That's only about 10 miles. So we should be up on that in a couple hours. Well, guess what? Fog closed in. So we're down. We got pretty much 0 visibility now. Let's say about 200-300 meters visibility. Well, this is where electronic navigation makes all the difference. I can remember back in the day sailing the coast of Maine with my dad. The only electronic thing he had was an RDF, radio direction finder. So you'd try to get, you'd try to pick up stations, and then you'd look at the little compass on the top of the RDF. So if you knew where the station was on the chart, of course you needed at least 2 of them. then you cross the direction lines and get an approximate fix. You had to work that out on a paper chart. It's much easier now, but still the fog is a challenge. These forecasted stronger winds have finally showed up. So we got south to southwest winds, holding around 17, 18 knots now. I just put a reef in the staysail, so a reef in the staysail and 2 reefs in the main, and just to get her back comfortably canvassed again. And we still got fog. Blue sky overhead, but fog. We're sailing through a cloud. Well, despite the poor visibility, I've decided to push on to Roque, so I'll be sailing through the night in the fog. But again, the wind is fair, so I'm going to take it.